War, it's a business, baby. Let's face it, folks, war is a pretty terrible thing. Nobody in their right mind actually war, except, well, maybe arms dealers and private military contractors. And let's be honest, governments looking for a distraction or a boost in the polls. It's a messy, complicated world out there. But here's the thing, as cynical as it sounds, where there's war, there's opportunity. Specifically, business opportunities, and you, my friend, can get in on the action. We're not talking about picking up a rifle and shipping off to some far-off land. We're talking about something far more civilized: government contracts. See, when your friendly neighborhood superpower needs to gear up for a war, big or small, they go shopping. And their shopping list is longer than a CVS receipt after a hurricane. This isn't just about tanks and missiles, folks. We're talking everything from socks and toilet paper to cybersecurity software and catering services. That's right, even wars need snacks, and that's where you come in. Now, before you accuse me of being a heartless war profiteer, okay, maybe I am a little, let's acknowledge the elephant in the room. The world is a tense place right now. Geopolitical tensions are high, borders are being redrawn faster than a game of Risk gone wrong, and everyone seems to be itching for a fight, mostly with their keyboards, thankfully. This creates, shall we say, a dynamic environment for government spending. When those war drums start beating, governments loosen the purse strings. Suddenly they're throwing money at anything that moves, as long as it's painted camouflage or can be remotely used to defend the homeland or, invade someone else's. Here's how it works. The government needs something. Could be anything, really. Maybe they need 10,000 pairs of combat boots. Maybe they need a new accounting software system to keep track of all those sweet, sweet war dollars. Whatever it is, they put out a request for proposals, or RFP. Think of it like a giant bureaucratic Craigslist ad for the military-industrial complex. Now here's the kicker. These contracts aren't just going to giant corporations like Lockheed Martin and Boeing, though they get their fair share, don't worry. The government is legally required to set aside a certain percentage of contracts for small businesses. And guess what? That's you. Or at least it could be. Don't believe me? Let's talk about Sarah. Sarah ran a small bakery in the Midwest. She made a mean apple pie, but she wasn't exactly rolling in dough, pun intended. Then one day she saw an RFP from the Department of Defense. They needed someone to supply cookies to troops overseas. Sarah figured, hey, a cookie's a cookie, right? She submitted a bid, and guess what? She got the contract. Turns out even soldiers in war zones need a little something sweet now and then. Sarah's bakery went from a one-horse town operation to a multi-million-dollar supplier of cookies to the troops. And Sarah's story isn't unique. There are countless examples of ordinary people who saw an opportunity in government contracting and struck gold. We're talking about everything from construction companies building military bases to IT firms designing cybersecurity systems. Section 5. You name it, Uncle Sam buys it. Let's be clear, the government doesn't just buy guns and bombs. In fact, they buy more everyday stuff than you can shake a stick at. We're talking office supplies, furniture, medical equipment, food, clothing, you name it. They even buy toilet paper in bulk, and someone's got to provide it. So, whatever your business is, chances are the government needs it. Are you a construction worker? Great, the army needs someone to build a new barracks. Are you a graphic designer? Fantastic. The Air Force needs a new logo for their latest drone program. Are you a dog walker? Well, even military working dogs need a break sometimes. Section 6. Trillions with a T. Government spending is no joke. Now, let's talk about the real reason why you should care about government contracts. The money. We're not talking about chump change here, folks. The federal government is the biggest customer in the world, spending trillions of dollars every year. That's trillions with a T. To put that in perspective, if the government were a person, they could buy every single person on Earth a Happy Meal every day and still have enough money left over to buy Twitter. Although, knowing the government, they'd probably find a way to screw that up too. Section 7. Hey, that could be you cashing in. Now, I know what you're thinking. This all sounds great, John, but I'm just a small fish in a big pond. How could I possibly compete with the big guys? Here's the thing. The government actually small businesses to get in on the action. They have something called set-asides, which are specific contracts that are reserved exclusively for small businesses. They also have programs to help small businesses navigate the often complex world of government contracting. Section 8. The Ripple Effect, Your Success, America's Success. Here's another reason why this is good news for everyone. When small businesses thrive, the entire economy benefits. More jobs are created, more money is pumped back into local communities, and everyone gets to share in the prosperity. It's like a patriotic game of Monopoly where everyone wins, except maybe the guy who lands on boardwalk with a hotel on it, but that's capitalism for you. So not only could you be lining your pockets with government cash, but you could also be doing your part to make America great again, or at least slightly better. It's a win-win situation, folks. Section 9, the moral quandary, to profit or not to profit. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. Isn't it a little, morally iffy to profit off of war? And to that I say, look, it's a valid concern. War is a terrible thing and no one should be celebrating the suffering of others. But here's the thing, the government is going to spend this money anyway. The military-industrial complex is a well-oiled machine and it's going to keep churning, regardless of our personal feelings about it. So the question isn't whether you should profit from it, but rather, who do you want to benefit? Do you want to see the money go to giant corporations with questionable ethics and even more questionable lobbying practices? Or do you want to see it go to small businesses like yours that are creating jobs and supporting their local communities? Section 10. Ready to dive in? Here's your starting point. So, if you're ready to dip your toes into the lucrative waters of government contracting, where do you start? Well, the first step is to do your research. There are plenty of resources available online and in your local community to help you navigate the process. You can also reach out to your local Small Business Administration, SBA, office. They have counselors who can provide guidance and support. And who knows, maybe one day you'll be the one telling your rags to riches story, all thanks to Uncle Sam's bottomless pockets. Just remember to invite me to the victory party. I hear those military caterers put on a hell of a spread.